what happens to most people who have jerky serves. Rhythm is not his strong suit.
Up, down, push. I've been playing for a number of years at this point, and my strokes have been getting a lot better. I've gone to a number of coaches, learned really good technique, and I bet you've been working with your coach or whether you've been learning online, but my technique started getting like really good. I was using the right technique. You know, I was getting all the joints loaded and coiled in place and unwinding, etc. But I had a lot of trouble implementing this in matches, and not only in matches, being consistent day to day with it. And I'd break down the technique again and it looked good. And I was hitting the ball well, the results were good, but there was something holding me back. It's like I couldn't quite piece everything together. And so, so before we begin, we're gonna talk potential solutions that might be the key to really unlock from your technique going from good to be very usable and consistent in a match, all right? So before we go on, hit that subscribe button down below, right, so you won't get the next video. I have a number of really good stuff coming out, so I'm excited. I'm really excited, all right? But today we're going to talk about the missing piece, all right, that most coaches don't talk about. So we break technique in three parts. So remember, we have upper body technique, lower body technique, and the glue that brings it all together is the rhythm, spacing, and tracking. It might sound simple, but there are a number of concepts we layer in that category to bind it all together to make it usable. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is following the ball with your hand. So now we're pushing into the space of coordination. Coordination, obviously, like you're playing ping pong, like you can follow the ball, right? You know, hand-eye, there's foot-eye coordination, there's hand-eye coordination. Obviously, to be in rhythm, you need to have good hand-eye coordination. And so what does that mean? A lot of people, when the ball comes, they're swinging off rhythm. So the ball comes, imagine the ball going up and down, and they're just swinging off rhythm. And they're forcing the racket through. You see how the racket makes a loop up, in a up, down, up motion? Well, as you make this loop, the ball is going up and down. Now we talk about rhythm, like the ball can go up and down really fast, boom, you know, or it can be like a lob, it goes really slowly. In terms of rhythm, I don't know if you dance a lot or at all. Most people don't dance, but the beat could be really fast, bam, 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 bam. Or the beat could be really slow, bam, bam, bam. And depending on the beat, obviously that determines the rhythm, but you have to be on rhythm. So depending on the ball moving up and down, you have to follow the ball with your hand. What I mean by following the ball with your hand is you can see the ball down, up, down, up. It has a natural cadence and rhythm to it. And so instead of tossing the ball here and hitting the ball, I might use the right technique to hit the ball, but it can be wildly inconsistent, especially if I'm off rhythm. You want to follow the ball with your hand, meaning up with the ball, down with the ball, up with the ball. Up, down, up. Right? Whether the ball comes fast, it might go boom, 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 or whether the ball comes slowly, it might be up, down, up. You have to slow your body down for the slower balls, obviously, but that's how you stay on rhythm. So here's a demo here. So watch the student as I hit these soft beads and up, down, up with the hand. So only focus on the upper body, where the hand, I mean, yes, he is rising with his legs too, but the hand is in perfect flow with the ball. And this is where hand-eye coordination comes in. And he's in perfect rhythm, and look how pretty easy you could swing and you get a pretty big result. Just swing slow and strong and beating the ball on the sweet spot. Alright, now this is a slower rhythm, so the hand is moving pretty slow. Here in a sec we're going to show you how that changes, but again, on balance, in rhythm,
And that's where, with the good timing, a lot of the power comes. Okay, now these are, it's going to take these early, and watch how the hand changes. A little faster. Right, he's going to take it early, the hand moves a little faster because the beat speeds up, because he's taking it early. Right, so you have to adjust accordingly.
Okay, so why up with the ball, down with the ball, up with the ball, hand following the ball might sound like an easy concept. There are forces at play here that make it more difficult, and one being gravity, right? There's gravity being applied on the ball, which pushes it up and down. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But the harder thing for people to understand is there's gravity being exerted on your racket. So see how I can feel the weight of the racket in my hand? Now, as I make this loop up, down, and up, I can feel the gravity work in a number of ways. And so, like that player who would just who wouldn't know how to follow the ball and just swing like this off rhythm, they're not aware and feeling gravity in their hand. So as they swing, and what I mean by feeling the racket in your hand, I'm feeling the racket go up. I can feel the gravity pushing down on my racket as I lift it up. I can feel the tension in my shoulder and everything. As the racket drops, well, now gravity's working with us. I can feel the drop, and now I'm low, and now to push the racket back up again, I can feel the force of gravity pushing up. And so as I swing, whether it's a big swing here or a small swing here, I'm feeling the forces of gravity. You can tell when a player is off rhythm when they're moving the racket around the circle and they're not feeling the racket in their hand. And if you lose that feeling of the racket in your hand, you are off rhythm. Okay, your swing won't work. While this theory might sound difficult to do in practice, it's not. Okay, and I want you to imagine the concept of a medicine ball. Like when you throw a medicine ball, imagine making a circle like this with a medicine ball, where it goes up, back, down, and then you throw. Well, when you throw a medicine ball, because it's heavy, whether it's 8-pound or 12-pound, you have to feel the weight of the medicine ball as you make the loop and you throw it, right? You wouldn't take a medicine ball and accelerate from up here and throw. You wouldn't go whoop to throw the medicine ball. The ball wouldn't go anywhere. In fact, as you make this loop with a medicine ball and throw, because it's a heavy object, you would feel the weight go up, you'd feel it go down, and you'd actually load when it's down here, and then you push from low to high. So you go up, down, push, right? A heavy medicine ball. And same thing with your racket. You wouldn't accelerate from up here like this. You would actually wait for it to drop and accelerate from low to high. The acceleration is from low to high. That's when you'd really push here, right? You'd still load. Well, this swing gets complex, but just understand this one concept, right? You have a lot of people loading like this and accelerating way too early. And we'll make a video. You can actually get pretty advanced with this. You can actually attack off rhythm, but that's an advanced topic. We'll make it another video. But for starters, for basics, you need to again wait for the weight to go up, down, just like a medicine ball, where your strength is down here, up, down, and then push from low to high. Up, down, push. Same on the back end. Up, down, push. And now you're feeling the weight of the racket in your hand, and you're pushing it at the right spot. So when you make this loop here, you're pushing at the right spot. I'm not pushing here, I'm pushing here, right? And this unit turn, boom, can still be quick here, but when I push, just like a medicine ball, you're pushing in the right place. If I was throwing a ball at you like this, like in baseball, I can whip the ball through because the ball is connected to my hand. But because I have this thing called the racket that connects my hand to where I'm hitting, I have this one extra piece. And so because I have this one extra piece, I have to coordinate it and time it. I don't know if you've ever watched Lord of the Rings, but in Lord of the Rings, the Witch King, he has this big spike ball, and he swings this spike ball. If the Witch King were to go like whoop, like this, and the chain would move, but the ball wouldn't move. But because there's something that separates his hand. If he's using a sword, that'd be different. If there's something that connects his hand, I know you're thinking tennis, right? Like, why are we talking about this? But the same concept applies, because you need the hand has something that connects to the hitting target. Again, you have to feel the tip of the weight. So as I swing, I can feel the tip. See, I have control over the tip. As if I'm swinging a spike ball, I have to feel, and then I have to bring it around, right? At the right time. Now, if I'm spinning something, if I can spin something faster and faster and faster, but again, or I can spin it slower, but I have to feel the weight of, whether it's a yo-yo, I use that yo-yo analogy. Again, whether this works with gravity, the ball is moving with gravity. If the ball moves faster, you have to move your racket faster, but you still have to feel gravity, the force of gravity on the racket. And the funny thing is, the ball moves with gravity, your racket should move with gravity. Everything moves up and down, rises and falls at the same acceleration. All right, so we're going to break down into some basic drills, some hand-fed. You're going to see how this concept works. It's kind of the glue, like I talk about. You can have great technique, but if you're missing this one key element, man, it's going to be tough to make it. It's going to be very tough to make it work.
So here's me impersonating the Witch King with my spike ball, ready for war, ready for battle. Okay, this is called a serve master, so which is basically a grip with a rubber rope and a weight at the end. You can also use a long sock and put 2 tennis balls in. I'll link it below to Amazon, you can get it. Now, this is what happens to most people who have jerky serves and don't feel the weight of the racket when they swing. See, they're probably going to hit themselves. They won't have the flow, and basically, because they're not feeling the weight at the end of the rope, their serve is going to be jerky, they're going to lose rhythm. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still hit a good serve, but when you do these figure eights with the serve master, or I'm sure there are different names for it, you want to achieve constant fluidity with your swing. And you can even accelerate, and you actually want to accelerate more at contact, because that's where the power culminates. But I can still slow it down and accelerate at contact, slow and accelerate at contact. But again, I'm feeling the weight of the serve master all the way around, and I'm never breaking my flow, I'm never breaking my rhythm. So enough of that. Let's look at 2 pro players and analyze them. So I love Dolgopolov. He's one of my favorite players. He has super high racket head speed, but rhythm is not his strong suit. As you can see, sometimes it looks like he's accelerating that racket a little too early. He's not feeling the racket as much. Accelerate there, and sometimes his rhythm can go off. Not a guy who you want to rally with and find a good groove with. Again, he does so many other things well, but rhythm is not his strong suit. But David Ferrer, you can tell again, it's not perfect, following the ball per se, and we'll discuss why that is. But for the most part, he's accelerating right at contact, right there. He's pushing at the right time. You can see the racket is flowing, it's smooth. Okay, when the ball slows down, you can see the hand slowing down a little bit more, right? Sometimes he needs to bring that racket around faster. But David Ferrer, his rhythm is so good, and again, he's Ferrer on the near side, and I think Tommy Robredo on the far side. These Spaniards can pretty much rally all day. So some of these guys have the best rhythm. They just hit balls all day. They have such amazing fluidity and feel with the racket. And then there's Fed, and yes, Fed sometimes rallies in rhythm. A lot of times when he warms up, he's in better rhythm, up, down, up with the ball, and you see the hand following the ball more. But when Fed is playing his matches, and this is where I know you and my viewers watching, you guys are going to call BS on me, is the hand does not technically follow the ball, especially on the pro level. Most times it doesn't even remotely follow the ball, especially when here's one coming up like that. It does not follow the ball. The racket is going up and down and up. sometimes opposite to the ball. So why is that, right? And so stay tuned for the next video of why we're going to talk about, that up, down, up, and following the ball with your hand is BS. It's a very important concept to understand, but you need both. In this simple drill hand-fed, I'm using some hypnosis tactics to get the student back into rhythm when he lost his rhythm. So do all these things. Follow the ball with your hand. Feel the weight of the racket in your hand. Push from low to high, not high to low to high. These will make a difference in your game, get you back in sync, especially in the warm-up. Do it.